18 WJTS News, I'm Prisma Lopez-Marin. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget that tonight is Kris Candle Mark Eve, as a Kris Candle Angel will appear on the Monastery Hill. This is an outdoor candlelight opening ceremony, free and open to the public as it starts the Kris Candle Mark weekend. Check out events such as Silly Safari Reindeer Reserve with Avalanche Austin on Saturday 19th at 10:30 in the morning in the Fordham Library FBL Community Room. Market hours for Saturday starts at 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Sunday 10 in the morning till 4 p.m. Market locations are Fordham Community Center, Tri-County YMCA, Antiques Market, Forest Park High School Practice Gym, Fordham Elementary Gym, and the Monastery Event Hall, as well as the Fordham American Legion Post. This weekend will be filled with various vendors and many visitors as this event is recognized nationwide. DuBois County Emerging Leaders have selected the DuBois County Humane Society as this year's recipient of a $4,500 grant. In a release, DuBois County Humane Society Board President Andrea Hedinger says the Humane Society is thankful to be the recipient of the 2016 Emerging Leaders Grant. She says the Humane Society plans to add additional fence in areas that will allow their dogs to enjoy an even higher quality of stay. Meanwhile, Brenda Nycom of the Humane Society says the donations provides a huge boost to the organization.
And it does help us with our immediate expenses. We did have a few things that we had to do, such as raise the height of the back fence from 4 feet to 6 feet. We've got some plumbing that we've done, and also a few improvements to the kitchen, which some of the stuff is 40 years old, so we are definitely in need of a few remodeling projects. So rather than dipping into our regular funding for that, we will be able to improve a few things around here. Wonderfully blessed with volunteers and the public that has been so responsive to all of our needs.
Hedinger again expressed her appreciation to the 2016 Emerging Leaders for believing in their vision of moving the DuBois County Humane Society forward. This year's annual grant party was held Thursday at the Astor in downtown Jasper, where current Emerging Leaders spoke on behalf of this year's nonprofit grant nominations. Emerging Leaders co-chair Steffi Schmucker says the grant party is a culmination of their year and provides an excellent venue to learn about their local nonprofits and better understand their current needs. Contributors voted through a two-round process that included 16 local organizations. Organizations represented this year focused on a wide variety of programs and projects, including social service, youth and education, and historic preservation. Emerging Leaders, a program of DuBois County Community Foundation, is in its 5th year. Since forming in 2012, the program has granted $28,500 back to the community. Individuals can learn more and join the Giving Circle by calling the DuBois County Community Foundation at 812-482-5295 or online at elgiving.org. As we continue with our Friday edition of Hometown Hero, here is Charlotte Olson with Jill Wigand.
Good evening, everyone. I am Charlotte Olson here reporting for 18 WJTS News' Hometown Heroes. I am joined today with Jill Wigand, and she was nominated for all of the work that she does in our community to help girls belong, help girls feel positive about themselves, and even women as well. She has a great story, and I'm excited to share it with all of you. So without further ado, let's turn it over to Jill, and we can hear her story here on 18. So how are you doing today, Jill?
I'm just fine, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, absolutely. You do so much in our community. You make everyone feel so special in all that you do.
Oh, thank you.
So let's first just kind of start with the history. Let's start with how you got involved and all that you do with the different girls groups and, you know, cheerleading and dance and health and all of that. So.
Okay. I moved to Jasper in 1988.
Okay.
And I started coaching cheerleading in 1989. And so I did that for 23 years. But in the meantime, I went back to school and got my teaching degree. And then probably in about 1993, I started teaching aerobics.
Okay.
So with fitness and with the cheerleading, it just kind of tied in together and gave me great ideas on programs that I was constantly thinking about.
Right.
And so from there, I started the middle school dance team from the cheerleaders because I felt like there needed to be a program where there were no tryouts.
Right.
Everyone felt accepted, everyone belonged, and I just saw that need. And I created the middle school dance team, which is still in existence as it was. And then from there, I had girls graduating and going into high school that really wanted me to have a dance team. And so I started that dance team.
Wow.
And then, so I have been doing all of that. And then about 7 years ago, I was teaching English at Jasper Middle School.
Okay.
And then the health position opened up. So I jumped on that, and now
Right.
everything that I do, my hobbies, my passions, my career is all in one nice little bundle. So I am very blessed for that.
Right. Now, when you first started with all this, you had all these great ideas. Has it exceeded your expectations?
It has. I started a program called High Ponies.
Okay.
Gosh, I think that was 4 years ago now. And it started out as an after-school program
Okay.
at 5th Street, but it was just too big. And with Leah Jesse encouraged me to start it at Cabby and open it up to everybody. And so I did that, and we have about anywhere from 150 to 200 girls each year. And so that has been just, you know, I'm just so proud of that.
Right.
But my expectations, I think what has been exceeded is the amount of mentorship that the older girls provide. I really, when I started all of it, I saw that, but I didn't know how big and strong it would be. So you have the high school girls mentoring middle school and the elementary school kids, and it's just been such a great thing to see those girls interact with these little girls, and these little girls look up to the older girls, so the older girls are held accountable because they know that that little girl's watching every move that they make.
Right.
So that has been just one of the most spectacular things about High Ponies and the other programs that I do.
Right, and you were talking about a sense of belonging, of seeing that. Do you see that in all the programs?
I do. You know, my middle school program, those little girls, they get a bow and a t-shirt, and some of them, we dance one time a week.
Okay.
But you'll find some of those kids wear that bow and t-shirt 3 days a week because it gives them that sense of belonging.
Right.
And, you know, I'm just so proud of that.
Right. So what has been your favorite memory or memory that kind of sticks out for you?
I have great memories of all these, you know, funny memories of these silly,
I'm sure.
silly little girls and my older girls. They do keep me laughing, and I thoroughly enjoy that. But the one thing that really sticks out to me was one time I was in the middle school and we were having dance practice, and I noticed a mother or a parent looking through the window, and she wasn't a dance parent, she was just a parent of a middle school child. And she came in after practice and she said, "Don't you ever forget and don't you ever quit doing this," because that little girl was me when I was growing up. And you know, it makes me tear up when I think about that, because she was so animate and she was so, I don't know what the right word, but you know, that was her. And she said she would have given anything for that. And so that really, you know, solidified what I was thinking and what I was hoping for the program.
Right, absolutely. Well, and it's so great that you get to kind of have all of your loves in one bundle.
It is, because people ask what I do, and it's all the same to me. You know,
Right.
dance is fitness, and even in my gym, you know, the women in my gym are just mentors to everyone else in the community when they walk out these doors, and it is all one thing. It's just, it's fascinating how things have grown.
What do you think is the most important message that you want your girls or your women to kind of get from any of these programs?
My biggest thing, and what I try to instill in all my girls, but my high school girls are at that point, you know, is that when you have a gift or you have something, that it's your, you know, God has blessed you with something, and it is your obligation to give back and not expect anything in return.
Right.
And that's kind of my underlining message and what I try to teach everybody.
And I kind of hearing that once I was told is, your life is your message. You're given that message for a reason, and then you're supposed to kind of use it as a megaphone to tell everybody. And that's exactly what you have been doing. And it's so beautiful to see all of that. And I've even been a part of it for a little bit. So it's just so great. So thank you for sharing your message with us.
You're welcome.
Thank you for all that you do in our community.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So again, I was joined here on 18 WJTS Hometown Heroes with Jill Wiggin, all the work that she does in our community for both women young and women that are a little bit older, generations apart. She is affecting and instilling positive values in everyone in our community. And if you would like to nominate somebody for a hometown hero, you can send your information to me at the station. Give me a call at 812-482-2727 or send me an email at mailbox@wjts.tv, and I look forward to your nominees. Again, this is Charlotte Olson reporting for Hometown Heroes here on 18 WJTS News. Local people watching local people.
Thank you, Charlotte. It's important to showcase our community leaders. The Indiana State Police would like to remind motorists that particularly during deer season, drivers should not swerve to avoid deer in the roadway. Evasive maneuvers in which motorists drive off the roadway or leave their lane poses a greater risk of having severe crash as opposed to colliding with the animal. This past week in Martin County, officials temporarily closed US 50 due to the accident involving two oncoming motorists who both swerved towards the center line to miss a deer that entered the roadway, resulting in one driver being taken to Memorial Hospital in this crash. Even though both drivers attempted to avoid the deer was still struck prior to the vehicles crashing into each other. The Indiana Broadcasters Association recognized outstanding achievement in broadcasting by Indiana radio and television stations over the past year during its 29th Annual Spectrum Awards held Thursday in Carmel. The IBA recognizes outstanding examples of broadcast service each year and featured the Spectrum Awards along with the Richard M. Fairbanks Hall of Fame induction. Taking home a Spectrum Award this year was our very own 18 WJTS and WBDC Sports Director, Kirk Guxell, for Best in Radio Sports Call. Kirk is the radio voice of Southridge Raider football and basketball, as well as provide play-by-play of various other sportscasts throughout the year on WBDC, not to mention the television voice of Jasper Baseball on 18 WJTS. The Indiana Broadcasters Association is an alliance of more than 300 member radio and television broadcasters united to serve their audience throughout the Hoosier state. Congratulations again to Kurt from everyone here at 101 Country WBDC and also 18 WJTS, as well as everyone in DC Broadcasting. Coordinators of Project Acorn, Chris Lasher and Rock Emmert, were present at the open house for their Ferdinand the Bull mural and have been present this entire week at the site as the mural has grown into a colorful appearance. Emmert describes how various people were involved with the conception of the mural idea and its connection with Project Acorn.
The tie to this building and to the mural was very serendipitous. Keith and Lisa, his cousin, and Chris and I and others had been talking about that wall, and it wasn't the most attractive wall for all the traffic that goes past it, especially with the high school and the monastery and the whole neighborhood. So we were, for probably at least 3 or 4 years, we were sketching things. Lisa especially was sketching ideas, and we thought about something related to the monastery, to include maybe a collage of the monastery and the forest around here with the furniture industry. And so those ideas were kind of percolating for quite some time, and then none of the ideas came together. And then the Ferdinand the Bull play was going on, and Lisa was in town at the time, and we got to talking about that, and she had not read the story. So when she read the story, she fell in love with it and its message of peace and nonviolence and being your own individual and nature, the nature side of it. And so she read the book and said, whoa, this I can work with. And it ties into the history of the community. The Legion has a bull on its sign, and there's a huge resin bull in the dining room. It's been there for my whole lifetime, I believe. And there's a bull on the fire trucks and on the utility. the town utility trucks. So the town municipality, the fire department, and the Legion all had already embraced that particular Ferdinand the Bull as a kind of mascot for the community.
Project Acorn stands for Art, Community, Originality, Rhythm, and Nature. This program strives to acknowledge and utilize the gift of the community and provide many exciting learning opportunities for the youth and amateurs of all ages in the areas of music, art, environment, and wellness. One of the youth programs is to introduce them to theater and expression. Last year elaborates on the incorporation of Ferdinand the Bull in a play for Ferdinand Festival.
Leah and I got together and tried to do an adaptation of the book. So we created it into a little mini musical. We created the lines, the songs, and then Leah Roebling, who also was part of the children's theater program, has done some script writing. So she put it into script form, and we started working midsummer with the children that wanted to participate in Ferdinand the Bull with that. So that's how that came about, and they got to be in costume and sing and dance and act in front of family and friends 2 times during the folk festival day itself, to a full shelter house both times. So we had some great talent, great little folks that participated nicely, and we think it was fun for them and their family.
To learn how to become involved or for more information about Project Acorn, visit their Project Acorn Facebook page. Stay tuned. Weather and sports still to come on 18 WJTS News.